myself.
I told you there were some interesting effects that come later.
Sound check.
G'day and welcome back to another vocal analysis here at Voice Essentials. My name is Dr. Dan. Today we are going to be reviewing and analysing the amazing voice of Regina Spektor. Regina is someone who I have been aware of for many, many years, but I must admit to you, I've never really taken the time, nor I guess had the time or the reason to really, really listen to Regina's voice. Regina is kind of known for her indie, folky, kind of alternative music. And this piece that we're listening to is her song Open. This is quite an old performance. It was uploaded to YouTube at least 11 years ago. So this was sort of back in Regina's early 30s. My research suggests she's now currently in her mid-40s. And this is being recorded live at the Electric Lady Studios in New York. It's a beautiful setup, and this has been beautifully produced. In this performance, Regina gives us a really interesting vocal display. You need to stick around for the whole performance because many of the very cool effects happen later. We get up front, we're going to get a lot of beautiful tone, but then she starts to vary that, and I find this fascinating. Let's dive in, let's have a listen to you know, it's a beautiful voice. Let's have a listen.
Down the road and up the hill.
I want to point out the way she starts that piano actually sets her voice up for its entrance. It is one of the, I guess, one of the strengths, and it's a small point, but it's one of the strengths of a self-accompanied singer. You know, when the singer themselves is playing the lead instrument, they get to have that really strong connection between what they want to do vocally, and they get to set that up with, in this case, the piano. She really sets the scene with the keys. It's not a mistake or an accident that she's playing like she is with the level of touch that she is. It's because you can hear that with the way that the voice really comes in, you know, on top of that. Let's have a listen to that again because it is beautifully done. Beautiful.
Down the road and up the hill, I wait for you still. Wires round my fingers, potentially lovely.
There's a term I often use here in my studio, ambient tone. And when I refer to ambient tone, what we're listening to now is the quintessential example of ambient tone. It's light, but it's not breathy. You can hear a clean core tone through the center of the value of the tone, but it has almost a breathy hue. So it's not breathy sound, but it's got a around the core tone. Have a listen to this. This is an exact example of ambience in the tone. Have a listen.
Down the road and up the hill,
Beautiful.
I wait for you still. Wires round my fingers, potentially lovely, perpetually human, suspended and open.
Have a listen to how she sustains that vowel. She sets it up and she's able to hold the position. To sing a single vowel and set a single vowel in play is not easy because your air wants to move around, your vocal tract wants to move around, and so to set it and hold it takes real skill. Have a listen.
Suspended and open.
Lovely. Listen to the way she's really shaping each, in this particular case, I am. So she's really accentuating each vowel shape. And I mean, I is a word in and of itself, but it's also a singular vowel. So she gets to really, shape. I. It has a diphthong to it. I-E. I am.
Through those woods and past the trains, I wait here in vain, scrubbing out the stains again. Potentially lovely, perpetually human, suspended and open.
Have a look at the shape of that lip, that mouth. Typically, we don't go looking for such a big drop, but what she's doing so well is that really forward shaping. I'm looking at myself in the screen to make sure I'm getting it right. That nice open shape, so the lips are really flaring for that O. And we like to see that flared shape for the O and U vowels. Here it comes again. I want to point something else out too. And piano players, this is something for you to be really aware of. Have a look. Her arms are going like this underneath. Have a look at how steady. I went to say stationary because I don't want to give the idea that she's fixed. I don't think she is. I think she has this really lovely buoyancy and dynamic position to her. But have a look at how aligned she remains with the microphone. Really, really fascinating to watch how steady she is.
Open.
Her head obviously moves. Wow.
In a night the snow starts falling and everybody stares through the windows at the streetlights.
I love the cello in this section. I do love the cello. The cello's just got a beautiful sound to it, but the way it's being played at the moment with that really fast bow movement.
Too beautiful to see. I am in a room I've built myself.
I told you there were some interesting effects that come later. So here we've got a really interesting effect. This is an effect that she's creating a vocal fry on her intake of air. The way that's happening is she's not retracting the vocal folds out of the way sufficiently. So as the air gets dragged in, the actual air actually drags the vocal folds together on the intake in a not dissimilar way to what in the way they get activated on the exhalation of air to create sound. But in this case, she's simply creating an intake fry, like an inhaled fry. You certainly, it's very clever as a vocal effect, and there is nothing wrong with what she does and how she uses it. And we hear the fact that she's able to, every time she does it, she's then going to clean tone with the exhaled air. Her voice is in excellent condition. You wouldn't want to be finding yourself with that kind of a sound on your intake habitually. It would be rather damaging. It would indicate some real concerns. Not so in this case, but I do want to just sort of add that cautionary note to, for your own singing, because as you know, we're a voice education channel here. Many of you are singers yourselves. We certainly wouldn't want to hold this up and go, see, you can create sound on your intake of air. Yeah, you can, but you've got to do it by cleverly choosing to do it for moments in time, just like Regina is here.
Four straight walls, one floor, one ceiling, and after day I wake up feeling, and after day I wake up feeling potentially lovely.
And then just straight back into that ambient tone and that clarity. She doesn't lose any clarity in her sound. It's, and it takes a bit of skill, it has to be said, to activate what is ultimately an inhaled pressed phonation, or it's not, do we call it phonation? It's fry, to then immediately respond with clear exhaled phonation. Very, very skilled.
Perpetually human, suspended and open.
Okay, so I'm just going to take it back here because I want you to have a look at there, that position of her head. So once again, I love the shape of her lips. The jaw wants to drop quite significantly. I'm not convinced that you need to drop your jaw as significantly there as Regina is. And especially given that the note is not terribly high. We do find that the jaw wants to drop a little bit more the higher we go, and that's fine. But in this case, I'm not sure that we have to go for such a big drop in the jaw. And also you can see her head position just wanting to lean forward and sort of create some extrinsic structure to it. And I can already sort of preempt some of your comments going, yeah, but it sounds great. Well, it does, and we're not disputing the fact that it doesn't just sound great, it sounds awesome. But, for us, mere mortals who are creating these similar sounds, we want to go looking for efficiency in the way our body creates sound, and we can be more efficient in our voice when our alignment is a little bit more, posturally aligned, and we don't need to drop the jaw quite so much. I love her lips. What I love about that note is the way she positions it. She really positions that forward placement. She's got good core tone, good focus, good twang to the note, and she doesn't overload it, which is really important. Have a listen to the lead up to that.
your eyes, and then la da da, la da da da.
Oh, isn't that pretty? Listen to that little, just that little da 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 da. Really?
La da da, la da da da. La da da, la da da da. La da da, la da 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 da. La da 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 da.
How good. Really, really good. It was actually one of my viewers who recommended we have a watch of Regina and review her voice. And thank you for making that suggestion, because it gave me an opportunity to really appreciate a fabulous singer. And it's never really surprising in one sense that these singers, gain notoriety, that because they are, often standout voices, and Regina's no different to that. And then add to that her songwriting, her playing, her general musical, nous is really good. I hope you've enjoyed today's vocal analysis. We do these analyses every week, and sometimes we throw in an extra one as well. So make sure you subscribe and hit the white bell icon just so you don't miss them when we throw them up. And I very much look forward to seeing you in the next vocal analysis video. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.